What's that one problem in the music industry that people are unaware of?
The artist starts earning a lot more. Compensate your band more. People are earning 50 lakhs and the band members are earning 20K a show.
Really?
Each.
It's that steep?
It's that steep. Officially 2 weeks now since the release of Bae.
Of course.
So it's been like a storm of all the feedback from the show, how people are liking it. Those are those moments you realize we haven't had content like this in a long time. That shows hope and joy and not, despair and girls getting murdered and kidnapped. I don't want to see.
What else could be a red flag on a first date?
Find out you're vegetarian. I'm so sorry. Are you vegetarian? It's over.
Do you get hit on by Indian uncles?
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable because sometimes, the aunties are right there, or worse, their kids are right there, and I'm just like, uncle, relax.
Have you gone out with somebody at the wedding that you performed?
Yes.
Yeah?
Not directly after the wedding, but I have gone on.
Was it the groom? How are you doing? What's been up?
Oh my God, so much has happened in the last 2 weeks. I'm not keeping track of anything anymore. What is it? Officially 2 weeks now since the release of Bae.
Of course.
So it's been like a storm of, all the feedback from the show, how people are liking it. Then all this music stuff, a bunch of things have happened. So I feel like this dream I was chasing of doing both acting and singing is now I'm seeing it come together. And it's
very nice.
Exhausting and amazing.
It's exhausting?
It's exhausting. There's a lot going on, so I'm like not able to keep track of everything. I feel very disorganized.
How do you manage? Are you like an internally disorganized person, or you're pretty much organized?
I am a taskmaster, so it means I like other people around me to be organized.
Okay. So
like
you want to just
if they're
supervise.
organized, yeah. I don't think I was made to be like a meticulous person. I was made to lead people to be meticulous.
Business.
Yes. I was like, आप काम करो, मैं supervise करूँगी.
मैं आपका काम देखूंगी.
Yeah.
आप काम करो.
So, which means that I'd make a very good dictator. A very good tyrant.
Congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
What's the feedback you're hearing around yourself?
Apparently that they want to see more of me. So that's good.
Which is good.
Yeah, I didn't know that the show would be so impactful. I think nobody anticipated that it would be this big.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we wanted things to be good. We wanted it to be a successful show, but the feedback has been amazing. I think especially लड़कियों के ऊपर जो impact हुआ है, I think I was very, very happy that, they've gone from the show into this, sisterhood vibe, positive energy. I feel like we haven't had like a joyous show about women in a long time. So
okay.
that was missing, and we realize it now when you see people's reaction and how good they feel after watching the show. So we're very blessed that that things have gone this well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Feeling good.
Feeling good. Awesome.
Yes.
Talk to us a little about the show, how the show happened.
Yeah. So 6 साल से मैं audition कर रही हूँ, and I think it took a long time because obviously you can tell from my accent I'm not from here. I'm Indian, but I was raised in America my whole life, pretty much.
Where in America?
Chicago. And I grew up listening to Bollywood and watching Bollywood films, and that was kind of my only knowledge of all of this. But we were a very filmy household. Like
Okay.
Everybody loves films in my house. Everybody watches every film. And, you get this sort of imbibed into you as a person. And I guess when I landed up in Bombay for music, you catch that bug. It's like, mujhe acting bhi karni hai. I think it becomes everybody's dream. Because the city is lending itself to that infrastructure of film and music, and it's so big and fun. I think मैं बचपन से born entertainer हूँ. I like to perform. I like putting on a show and making people laugh. And
Very nice.
yeah, and as long as they're enjoying, I'm happy. So I think it was bound to happen.
So your
this acting.
parents must be really proud of you since
They're,
because
every
they
day
always
they're confused. My parents are
no
very
because
confused.
I say this because they're always like when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, but beta गाना गा के दिखाओ, beta dance करके
Oh
दिखाओ,
my
beta
God.
acting.
My whole
So
childhood
you must
was
be like.
this. But you know what's weird is that although I liked the feeling after performing, I was very nervous going into it. So they were like, "Beta गाना गा के दिखाओ, मेहमान आए हैं." I would just be like, "No, no, 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 I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this."
But back of the mind, you're like, yes.
And then when I did it afterwards, I was like, "Killed it."
Just another day.
Just another day.
Come
but
on.
leading up to that, there was so much nervousness. It's the same. I still get that feeling when I go on stage to perform or I'm on set. The nervousness happens, and then you see the final product. I was like, "Kya baat hai?
Kya
Look at
baat hai.
the superstar."
Well done, Lisa.
What they don't tell you is you get lots of takes.
So
You can make some mistakes. It's fine.
you can, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But how long has it been since you've been performing?
I've been performing in India for 6 years as a musician, but I've been singing since I was 4 years old, and performing on stage since I was like 6, 7.
Very nice. So
Yeah.
like you're like a properly trained musician?
Not trained. Everything is
Self-taught.
Self-taught.
YouTube University.
YouTube University,
Let's
and
go.
this is pre-YouTube. It was before YouTube even existed. So I was just listening and learning and watching.
What were you listening to when you
Bollywood
picked
music.
up music?
Yeah, I was listening to Bollywood music. My earliest memories are actually of the soundtrack of Gulam.
Okay.
Like, so that was a big thing when I was like 3 years old, I think. I must have been really young. But guys, I'm not old. But it was my favorite soundtrack growing up. So I was listening to Gulam, Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam,
Of course.
Taal, Dil Chahta Hai. Those are the big
Oh,
ones.
Tal was
Taal
really
was a big part of my childhood. I don't know how to dance, but the music part of it was a very big thing
Come
in my
on.
life.
I'm sure I've
I
seen
can
a
keep
couple of
beat.
videos.
I can keep a beat because you actually literally have to have taal in order to be a
Yeah,
musician.
yeah.
But not a good
Dancer.
not a good like choreographed dancer.
Choreographed dancer.
Because
That's
it's
a
hard.
good
They
term.
have to remember a lot of steps, so not good at that.
You're not good at memory?
No. I'm not good at remembering steps. I was like, bye, dying, that doesn't work for me.
आपकी in general memory कैसी है?
In general, my
Do you
memories,
remember things? Do you forget things? Are you forgetful of things?
I think over.
Are you clumsy?
I feel like I become forgetful.
You become
Because
forgetful.
life got busier.
Ah.
Then इससे पहले तो मैं डेटा एनालिस्ट थी उस टाइम पे कुछ चल नहीं रहा था जिंदगी में
Really?
Yeah. So 6 साल पहले मैं डेटा एनालिस्ट थी शिकागो में. I was working at a desk job 8 to 5. That
What are
that
you
was when I
saying?
could have like a sharp memory because there was nothing going on in my life. Nothing was exciting. I mean, Mumbai आने के बाद you have so much going on, and even if you don't have anything going on, if you step outside, it's so much chaos and vibrant noises, sounds. This is happening. So I feel like my memory has suffered.
Ah.
तो आजकल कुछ याद नहीं रहता
But मेरे को
मुझे.
ये नहीं पता था कि you were a data analyst.
I was a
for
nerd.
Really?
I'm still a nerd.
You
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's where this, there's that whole link that people who are good at languages and mathematics are good at music. That's probably where that's from. Because they're all in the same family of.
You were good at math too?
I was very good at math.
Ah.
That's where the data statistics brain is from. So
This is damn cool.
Yeah. There's random information about.
No, but this is damn cool. Come on, like this calls for a good conversation for sure.
Sure. All right, guys, let's talk about coding. Let's talk about
Let's talk about
R and Python.
Java.
Yeah, please. Java is for chumps.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
What
I
do
don't
you-
remember Java anymore. If you put me in front of a sorry,
Can you
if
still
you put
code?
me in front of a computer right now, I could not code anymore. It would take me some time. It's been too long. I think I was like, when I got this gig, when I started to make music and moved to India, I was like, that life does not exist anymore. Forget it. Move on.
But do you miss anything from that life? Apart from no.
Simplicity.
Okay.
I miss the calmness of that life. I had a very sweet sort of life I'd made for myself, and like OG fans of mine, because I've been posting videos since 2007 on the internet, and I was like, I'm like in one of
Wow.
India's like first YouTubers.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
It was when YouTube was only 1 year old.
Yeah.
When I started posting videos, and I was so young. I was 13. I was barely allowed to be on the internet. My mom was like, "चेहरा मत दिखाओ, गाना गाना है तो कुछ PowerPoint slideshow डाल दो," and then you put your music on top of
Yeah.
it, and that's what I was doing. I miss that simplicity, that DIY sort of kaam chalu, just figure it out.
Yeah.
And, the I used to do this thing during my lunch breaks at work. I would go and make covers in my car. So I would go to the parking lot, sit, talk to people on live, and I had some like 50, 60,000 followers on IG then. And yeah, that was the whole thing. I would talk to them on live, and then I would, make little covers in my car.
So that'd be like on spot.
On the spot, yeah. So I miss that. I think it was so fun. When you don't have any pressure, you're just having fun.
Yeah.
That was nice. I miss that.
अभी क्यों नहीं है ऐसा?
Because I'm an adult, guys. तो bills भरने हैं मुझे.
What's one peak adulting
Rent.
problem you're really worried about?
My joint pain. Joints.
Thank God you said pain.
Yeah. No.
After joint.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh.
I'm worried about, guys, my joints. My joint pain.
But I want to
for
talk a
myself.
little about the entire music scene in India. What's happening in the music scene? Talk to us a little about, like run through us the entire behind the scenes, on ground stories, or something from the shows, or something from the music industry. Maybe if
Totally.
you can spill some tea,
Yeah, I'll spill some tea for sure.
please.
I'll tell you what's going on right now, which I think no one is, unaware of. It's the biggest movement for non-film music that we've ever seen in India. And you can look at it in the charts. Let's pull it up. I'm interested
go.
in seeing
Let's go.
Who's charting right now,
Let's go.
So Spotify Top 50 India is a good indicator of what's going on. Top 50 India. Number 1 song, Anuv Jain, Jo Tum Mere Ho,
Okay.
Independent. Amazing. Then you have film song, then independent again, Millionaire Yo-Yo Honey Singh. Then film song, then non-film song, one more film song, non-film song. So you're getting to a point where in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, in 10 songs, 4 of them are non-film, which is incredible from where we
great.
used to be. And 1 month back, this might have been 6. There's been times when 8 of the 10 songs in our top 10 have been non-film songs. Post-COVID, I think it's pretty incredible to see how many artists have come out and made their own music and just put it up on Spotify, and gambled and won. I think it's exciting that we have new composers, new artists, new people coming in every single day. We've democratized the music industry, which is exciting. Because variety hona chahiye, and we haven't had that in a long time. And a lot of them are so young. Most of these people are below 30. Even Honey Singh in Spirit is below 30.
Very nice. I love how you put it. Even.
But yeah, I think the cool thing that I'm seeing is we have so many non-film songs charting, independent artists that are successful. Top names on every every headliner in music festivals nowadays is non-film. So that's exciting. The problem is when I read all of these out, none of them are girls. So that's a big issue. We still have not tackled how to make popular music helmed by women. That's not happened.
Why is that?
I think
There are great musicians in
there's
India,
great
right?
musicians. I think it's twofold. One is that, so part of it is we have to take some ownership as women, and part of it is we have to also have expectations and demands of the industry. I think I say that with experience, having put out my album this year. I used to think the odds were always going to be stacked against me, and then I realized I haven't made a full body of work. So why am I complaining before I've done something to prove that point? It's like maybe it's not completely against me. Maybe the industry is not looking to make sure that I fail. Let me at least try. So I made an album. I tested that theory out. I realized that there are so many barriers still to entry, but at least I know that there is not as little support as I thought. So One is we have to challenge ourselves, make our own music, compose the songs, write the songs. That's how you have power. If you're waiting as a playback forever, you're asking for an opportunity rather than creating an opportunity. So I think that's what's been missing a long time from girls. And then comes the real reason behind that. How do you enter a space and ask for an opportunity when everyone there is a man? So that's a very daunting thing. And I've experienced that when you enter the room and you're like, I want to ask for help. I want to make a song. I want to write. I want to compose. But nobody looks like you. So it can be very scary to enter a room and feel like anyone is going to help you, take you seriously, keep you emotionally safe in that space. You know, there's lots of those challenges as well. And of course, the very obvious problem is that we need better resources and funding for women in music. We don't have it. We aren't focused on making sure that we create woman pop stars or women in the music industry who are, you know, at the same level as men. The money's just not there. And the investment is just not there. So multiple issues, but I feel like the way you can start tackling that is to first commit to writing and composing your own songs.
You think women are not composing and writing more of their songs?
I
as
think
compared
now we
to men?
are.
Now we are.
I think now we are. I think because we come from a legacy in the music industry of incredible playback singers, right? So the most known name in the music industry in India is a woman. It's Lata Mangeshkar ji. So she's a woman. She's, you know, everlasting. Her music is evergreen. But she was a playback. So we have a tradition in India of women being playback singers. And that has carried on in the 90s and 2000s, even now. And what we don't realize in the long run is that is our undoing. That somewhere along the way, if you're in the studio, you know, this is actually advice Vishal Dadlani gave me when I was struggling to figure out why I wasn't happy as a musician. He said, if you can sing for me behind a booth and you're ad-libbing and improvising, you're composing. He's like, those are not my notes from my song. Those are your notes. You just created them. I saw you create them. So why can't you compose a song? Why do you think you're not capable of doing it? I just saw you do it. Now take that 10 seconds of, you know, improv and make it 3 minutes. And it's sometimes it's just like the answer is so obvious. You just have to have someone tell you. And you go, oh, okay, sure, I'll go and start writing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we're starting to see that change now, and it's coming from a tradition of playback singing, but the same playback singers, I come from playback singing, I did a lot of that in Bollywood. That changes when you realize you have the ability to compose. You've been in those rooms, you've heard the best music and worked with the best people. Even if you've not worked with the best people, you're listening to the best music. So start drawing inspiration from them, little bits here and there, and start committing yourself to writing a little bit every day. कुछ गुनगुनाओ, voice memo करो, record कर लो उसको, उसके ऊपर कुछ लिखो. Before you know it, you're going to start writing. And if that seems like too big of a task, find 2-3 friends to do this with. And challenge yourself to become a composer, to become a writer, because you need to have ownership over your work. Then you will get in the number 1, 2, 3, 4 positions of these charts. Otherwise, yes, your name might be there, but it's going to be a duet with a male, or it's going to be composed by a man, and you just won't feel that same joy and that satisfaction
of course.
that an Anuj Jain feels, because those lyrics are his, the composition is his, the voice is his, the song is his. If I want to be Anuv, I have to be able to commit myself to that songwriting and that composition. And then obviously, the more of us that do this, the more of us that demand, you know, room for ourselves, the industry will expand. And it's up to women also to help each other. If you see a really strong lyricist or composer that's a girl, bring her in to your sessions. Start working together, because there's so many incredible communities of men who do this. Like the biggest example is like Pritam Da, right? And Jam8. They're a club of people exchanging ideas. We can have that as women. I would love to have, you know, songwriters in the room working on my next track that are all girls. So start making little clubs of your own, start writing together and working together.
But it's, I hear you,
Yeah.
I see you, I see your concern. there is so much awareness right now in terms of the internet, and there's so many resources available at this point, and so many independent artists coming on the internet, on Instagram, creating their own music, creating their own independent labels. Why do you think, when you mentioned Jammy and Pritam Das jamming sessions and brainstorming sessions, why do you think women don't have that a community or a group of sorts yet? What is lacking?
I think what's lacking is a knowledge that others exist. I really think it's just a lack of realizing there's more of us out there. And part of what I'm doing this year is to tackle that. I want to create an entire community of musicians that are girls that help each other out. And, then we see more of ourselves on these charts. If that's your goal, I would assume many people want to be at the top, right? And after that, I would say from an organizational standpoint, these labels, major labels, people who have the money and the funding to help artists, the more we see women in those offices, in the C-suite, then we feel more comfortable that we are being protected and our interests are being looked after also. So the overall problem is stemming from the fact that there's nobody that looks and feels like us in these spaces. And it's just a matter of, one person leads to 3 more people, leads to 5 more people, and then you have this groundswell of, women populating these spaces. But none of that is possible, obviously, without funding, resources, access. So that is a responsibility of men in positions of power to grant access to girls who are coming in and pitching themselves to a label. She's not any worse than a man that you're funding.
Of course.
So take girls, and especially young talent that are coming in, seriously, and encourage them to write, encourage them to compose. Don't say, yeah, you look great, you sound great, this guy will write the song for you, you just come and sing it, and then we'll make you a pop star. We have to change that. We have to empower women to have control over their art. Yeah. That's my speech for the day.
Welcome to Lisa's TED Talk. No, this is a very interesting conversation. I mean, I've sat with musicians here on the podcast, and we've had some really interesting conversations.
Yeah.
And there are certain questions that I ask everybody, and I try and be as unfiltered as I can. Not at the cost of getting the guest or myself cancelled on the internet, but just at the cost of just having a very unfiltered conversation. And I'm going to ask you a question, and I would love for you to answer it. You can feel free to not answer and skip at all.
Okay.
But
yes, I wish Barack Obama could be elected for a 3rd term. I know it's not possible.
All right then. Now we've gone there already. I want to ask you, what's that one problem in the music industry that people are unaware of, the general public is unaware of, but musicians are fed up of? Apart from what you just mentioned about women being in more C-suites and more women representation.
Yeah.
Apart from this, what's that one thing that artists are fed up? Like, come on, stop it already.
I will give you
Also,
something I know.
I also don't want to listen to nepotism. So let's just
not that
away
at
from
all.
that.
I think what artists are fed up of, I'll talk about it as somebody who, had a band that I've been with for many, many years. I think what I would like to see, and I speak on behalf of instrumentalist band members when I say this, is when the artist starts earning a lot more, compensate your band more. So I think that's a very big, so what we don't understand is that artists on this top chart, right, in these top 50 lists, they are composed of minimum 4 other people in their band when they do live shows. So if you're earning this much and your band members are earning this much, how is that fair?
I'm sure the band members are aware of how much they make, right?
That's what, exactly. So I think it's just, the numbers I hear are ridiculous. You have artists.
What are you hearing?
Like some people are earning 50 lakhs and the band members are earning 20K a show.
Really?
Each.
It's that steep?
It's that steep. So if you have this much money, bhai, thoda kuch baant lo. They're, making you sound good. They're committed to, assuring the experience is good. You look good on stage. You sound good on stage because of these people on stage with you. So somewhere we have forgotten the fairness and equity of, paying the people that make us who we are. So that, I think, is something the whole music community is fed up with.
And I'm going to ask you, I mean, I don't know how much you would be knowing about this, but which artist do you think has this pay parity sorted already?
I don't know, actually.
Because I come from this zone where
I do know one person who's amazing, Sean. So I know the band members in his group are so happy because he compensates them so fairly. And these are numbers I've not heard of any other band members.
Can
which
you
I
share
think
numbers?
I won't share, but I think it's excellent that we have people like him setting an example, and to know that he comes from decades of being at the top. So that makes me very happy that for so many years he has committed himself to making sure everybody's compensated fairly. And I think as a younger generation we have to start recognizing that ourselves. Is I think there's so much joy in getting famous overnight, making a ton of money, booking your 5, 10, 50 lakh gigs, that we forget to be kind. And in the excitement of social media and being young and being visible, we're not recognizing the teams that make us who we are. So that's a big frustration, a massive frustration in the music industry, is unfair compensation for band members. So I really want to see that change. I've tried my best, and here's the thing, I'll be honest with you, I've had to scale back on my payments because my own rates have gone down.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the industry fluctuates, right? It fluctuates with your relevance, it fluctuates with age, so many factors are there. So I've had to knock down pricing, and then I'm honest and open with my band, and I communicate that, guys, I don't know if I can afford this. And if you have a good rapport and you have a good understanding with them, they'll probably be like, we get it, we're with you. Or it's totally fine if they say, I don't think I can sustain playing at a lower rate, and they'll help you find someone else or whatever, because that's how good bands work. But now if you're looking at somebody who's earning 1/20th of what the artist is, you're not going to get that sense of community and love between you and your band.
But you mentioned a very interesting point about you slashing down your rates.
It's happened many times before. You kind of go up and down, and it's a wave always. It's never a linear progression.
Can you give us an idea of what has been the difference between your highest and your lowest?
2 lakhs. You have to do major cuts. 3 lakhs actually between my highest and my lowest. It happens per show, and obviously when you're looking at budget cuts like that, your compensation downstream for your band will suffer a lot.
Of course.
But we've made do with any cost that we have to not cut my band costs. We are starting to reevaluate or whatever, and something about it just doesn't feel right.
Right. But I want to be a little unfiltered here and talk a little about the money that independent artists, or maybe say songwriters, musicians make when they do shows, because I come from a place of unawareness. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I want the audience to also get to know about the entire finance, and this will be very handy for people who are aspiring musicians,
Sure.
who are aspiring songwriters, who create a lot of interesting music on Instagram, and they want to one day sell their independent shows and fill up stadiums as well.
Sure.
I want to talk finance, I want to talk money. How do artists charge money for their shows? Is it like a fixed fee, or is it basis ticket sales? Is it a commission of is it a mix of both?
There are some people that can do both, who incur some of the production cost of putting on the show, and then there's some mixed models, but primarily we are in an industry where we take a fee at the top.
Okay.
And no ticket sales, nothing like that. That goes to whoever the event production company is, and you get your fee.
So give me. Let's talk numbers here. So Anuv performs on stage, and a couple of other artists who perform on stage. There's a fee that the artist charges. For example, how much would an A-lister independent songwriter charge?
I have no idea. I know that, like, so I'm not anywhere in the 50 lakh league. I wish not even in the 10s.
Because I'm unaware, so I don't know, because I want this.
No, but there is a lot of money in it. I think
Okay.
I don't want to speak to anyone else's numbers. I have no idea.
Of course, okay.
But I can tell you that
How much would be an approximate number?
I don't know. I think you know, your biggest artists can make even crores.
A show.
Yeah,
Okay.
in a show, I'm sure. You have mega artists in this country who have been ruling the charts for years and years. So I'm assuming they're making lots of money. But that also is because they can pack the
Stadiums.
stadium. They can sell on food and bev and alcohol. So then, you know, you have a chance for these event production companies to recoup that. Now, I cannot charge 1 crore because I would be expected to pay back 1 crore. And I do not have that. So I feel like, you know, it's adjusted to what your expected event attendance is.
So is it, okay, let's try and break this down. So for example, is it basis your social music acceptance, or is it your popularity on Instagram, or is it the numbers on Spotify that you get for your songs? What is it basis?
I think what I'll say is social media numbers are not indicative of how many tickets you can sell. And I say this on behalf of every major event production company that has unfortunately lost money on that expectation. That this person can sell a show because they have 500,000, 1 million followers. It doesn't work that way. Your closest indicator to how many people will show up is the popularity of the song on streams. In my opinion, I might be wrong. It always helps. See, social media will help you gain popularity, but do you want to attend a show, or do you want to actually, let's say this as an artist, I don't want to play a show to a crowd that doesn't know the songs, but knows me because I'm viral. Because it's a dead crowd. Then they're there, nobody wants to be there, everyone is bored, everyone is thinking, ye kab khatam hoga yaar. They don't know any lyrics to your songs. Then you end up having to play covers so that you can keep them engaged. I'm saying this because I've had to do this before. I've had shows where I'm like, okay, cover to dalna padega, nahi to attention chhoot jayega. Then they're going to demand something that they're familiar with. And how do you give them what they're familiar with? You have to chart. You have to have successful songs. So it always comes down to the music. You know,
but sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
It will, both are linked in my
Both are
opinion,
linked, but
in
one
terms of your
heavily outweighs the other. So the song's popularity and the music's popularity is 85-90% of it. Only 10-15% is how popular you are on social media.
So your song, say again, I say this is interlinked because say you put out a song.
Yeah.
Right, you write a song, you compose a song, you put out a song on Spotify, on streaming platforms, right? Depending on how that song does on streams, on YouTube, you put that song out on your Instagram as well, on your other social platforms as well, it works well.
Yeah.
Right? The song's viral, it works well, people are making reels on it, there are like 100,000 reels on that music of yours, fantastic. Do you think that is a popular indicator of that song working when you sell shows?
You will have one song on your set that works.
Okay.
I think the difficulty is repeating that again and again. Now, see, when you go to a Diljit Dosanjh show, you know 10 songs.
Yeah.
Because of the repeated success. That is how you sell stadiums. That's how you charge whatever amount of money you can think of. Because you've earned that. You've earned that respect from your audience that I'm going to go to a Diljit's show and I will know the words and I will have a great time, not for one track, but for 2 hours. I'll enjoy myself. Because there's so many songs that I know. Sunidhi Chauhan, if she plays a show, you know every song. You know, you need success like Anuv Jain. What an example. I mean, he doesn't have to, he can just stand there and the stadium will sing all his songs back to him. Because he's had repeated success. So Jo Tum Mere Ho, Husn, Barishein, these are big songs.
And you can name like 5 of them.
Exactly. So, I mean, you can catch me at an Anup Jain show and I would know all the words. Social media is great, but it has limitations. I think you can have 500 tickets sold and they might know your 3 or 4 songs and it's a small niche. But if you want to get to 5,000, 10,000 plus, then you better have a bigger catalog. And, you know, you have to really depend then on your music and not your popularity.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And have you ever been booed off by...
No, I've never been booed off. I'm
No?
a great performer. I've never had bad shows. I've had bad wedding gigs for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come on. Let's
Sure.
Let's get on.
I've had bad wedding gigs. Every performer in this industry, even the biggest names, have had bad wedding gigs.
You've like done Indian weddings.
So many.
Come,
Yeah.
aajo.
And you know, you think you're killing it, the show is going well, and
But-
then they're like, okay, biryani is being served, and I am now number 2 in the room. Us time tak I was like, I'm killing it, the
Yeah.
audience is with me, and then the khana comes out, and you're like, okay, I am background music, you might as well put on an instrumental, and they won't notice.
Okay.
So that's when you lose the audience a little bit.
Share something from your wedding gigs.
My wedding gigs.
Describe. Describe.
Guys, on more than one occasion, I've had to ask the audience, like, you know, stage ke paas aao, experience mehsoos karo, come, enjoy yourselves. And they just don't. So there's an empty dance floor.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. It might happen once in 50 shows. But that one show will kill your vibe. Because you're just like, मैं भीख मांग रही हूँ यार,
आगे
कोई
आ
आके
जाओ।
नाचो थोड़ा.
मैं कितना अकेले नाचूं
I know.
stage पे.
It's too funny. And I'm just like this on stage. I'm very like conversational. I have a laugh at my own expense. So I'll joke, and sometimes actually that works. If I joke a little bit and then I come down and I walk amongst them and I'm like, kya kha rahe ho? Enjoying.
Can you describe as an artist? Can you describe a typical Indian wedding?
As an artist?
Yeah. Because you've seen like many of them, I'm
The
sure.
progression is everybody is very scared to enjoy themselves because, you know, dadi, nani are in a corner and you're like, oh, I have to be respectful. And then the energy picks up a little bit when the bride and groom are called to the stage. So then their friends will follow, like 10, 15 good, nice people will come and be like, oh, acha, chalo, thoda enjoy karte hain. And still a little bit civil and whatever. Then it picks up. Then you have people dancing. Now 30, 40 people are on the dance floor. And you've had a successful show when an uncle comes at the end and does this and the song from Animal plays. That's a good night. Yes. That is the mark of a successful wedding show. If you don't have drunk uncles on stage, you've not done justice to this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the
But
benchmark.
you know, I love it. I love it because that's the height of enjoyment. It's like, and even on sober weddings, Indians don't need anything. We have it internally. We're always like,
The
we have
inner
the
DNA
energy
is like,
with us.
let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. It's like at sober, like Jain weddings we've played and people have come with just pani.
Pani ka glass
and
and then-
danced and they've enjoyed themselves.
That's pretty cool.
So the progression is you're a little scared because your relatives are around, you don't want to have too much fun. Then the bride and groom come, you have a little more fun. Then the music picks up, you have a lot of fun. And then the uncles are on stage. Then, done. Then I've killed it, I get 20 more shows.
Oh, damn nice. Damn nice. But do you get hit on by Indian uncles during shows?
Next question.
No, I want you to answer that question.
If any
as
of any of
honestly
the
as
possible.
possible.
Of the past are watching this, you know who you are, and you know.
No, we
what
don't have a
you've
lot
done.
of viewers anyway. So go on with your.
Oh man, yeah, and it's uncomfortable because sometimes like the aunties are right there, or worse, their kids are right there, and I'm just like, uncle, relax, please no.
What do they tell you?
They're just like, you're looking beautiful, you're looking so good, and I'm like, okay.
That way?
Yeah.
In that
and
tone?
I'm like, okay. Re kabira. And they're like, ha, re
Char
kabira.
pahi wahi.
And I was like, I am not your kabira. Goodbye.
How do you deal with this, like on stage? I'm sure
My
there
band is so fun. They're very clever. They'll come and switch spots with me. Like the bassist or the
they can
guitarist
sense.
will kind of
Of
come
course.
and fill the gap, the physical gap,
Yeah.
and be like. And my manager is the best. She just gets on stage anytime she sees me even slightly uncomfortable, she's just like, "Hato."
But you can tell, of course, you can tell what is
We have
like
signals, you know. If my manager is side stage, I'm just like, and then she goes, "Okay." Get them off.
Damn nice.
Just little like point the head and give a wink, and then she comes up because you have to smile the whole time and not.
Have you ever liked a guy at the wedding and you're like,
So many, you know, I have a thing.
have you gone out with somebody at the wedding that you've performed?
Yes.
Yeah?
Not directly after the wedding, but I have gone on.
Was it the groom?
There was actually one wedding where I met 3 different people who didn't know each other, and over 1 year I went on a date with each of them.
Each of them.
It was a very lucky wedding.
For
It's a great wedding for me. Paise mile, dates mile. I was very happy.
That is so cool.
But you know, like I'm not saying this is an open invitation. Please don't come hit on me while I do my job. At least wait until afterwards to tell me my
At least
performance
wait.
was good. Then have a nice chat with me. Let me go home and think about it.
How would you like to get hit on?
Just tell me I did a good job.
That's it?
And then
You would take that as a...
I would honestly be like, thank you so much. And then give me a reason why.
Give me a reason why you
what
did
did you
well.
actually like about it? Essay,
Okay.
you know, just don't throw out a compliment that doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
But be like, I really liked this.
So Lisa, I like your tattoos.
Well played. I like meet me in 1 year. And I'll see who else. Are you available? There's 3 people in this room. So I'll go on one date over the course of the next year.
Amazing. But yeah, like if you want somebody to give you a good reason.
An honest compliment, you know, because it makes me feel like you enjoyed yourself and you were present during the performance. And you weren't sitting there thinking, yaar, kab khatam hoga ye, I have to ask her out. Don't do that. I want to know that you enjoyed yourself. And then don't, you know, message me too much and be like, hi dear. Don't do too
Hi
much.
dear, okay.
Hi dear, hello dear. Karthik this side.
HLO.
Don't do that.
Don't do HLO. Please write
HLO.
HELLO.
HELLO, no DEER. Hi dear. No, none of those messages.
What are the kind of DMs you've been getting?
Okay, for Call Me Bae, actually there have been overwhelmingly DMs from girls. And I get
What are they
so
saying?
happy reading messages from girls. Shout out to Ishita, our writer and creator of the show, because this hashtag Behan Code has really taken off from the series. And I'm getting so many messages from girls being like, we love, you know, that this entire show's theme is about female friendship and standing up for your girls and, you know, being excellent to each other in friendship. And there's no such thing as competition and there's only love. I went to Goa this past weekend, came back for my friend's birthday. Some 10 different people in the airport, all girls, have stopped to tell me this. I love the show. I love that there's content for girls. I love the show. I love how happy it made me feel.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
I didn't, you know, those are those moments you realize we haven't had content like this in a long time that shows hope and joy and not, you know, despair and girls getting murdered and kidnapped. I don't want to see only that.
Only that, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know, a nice break from all of the sadness would be good. So I think it's actually helped heal a lot of people.
That's sweet, yeah.
Yeah. So the past 2 weeks have just been very positive messages about how feel good this show is. And I was like, good, I'm happy. I'm happy, you're happy, everyone's happy.
Very nice, very nice. I want to come back to dates.
Yeah, Khajur.
Kajur.
Yes, I
Well
love
done
dates.
on the translation.
Yes, I love dates, guys.
Sadly, we're not talking about nutrition here. We're talking about people.
Sure.
Have you ever had a very off-putting date? I'm sure.
Yeah, any dates where in the first date you start discussing politics. And you're like, oof,
You've had that?
many times. It's a good thing to be politically knowledgeable. I am also. But maybe not the first time we hang out.
What would you like to have a conversation on the first date?
What am I watching? You asked me this question and I didn't get to answer it. I'd love, now it sounds like I'm saying we're on a first date.
All right. Should I take that as a hint, Lisa? Anyway.
Give me a year, like I said. No, I think it's keep the topics light.
Okay.
I think it's nice when you ask about positive things, what are your interests, all of that. I think people come in too strong with negativity and they carry a lot of the burdens and trauma of their lives into dates. And I'm like, okay, well, I can just go outside and be sad.
Have you bailed out of a date in the
Yes.
middle of a date?
Yeah. I
Citing what?
have. That I have to go to the studio many times. It's like, you know,
And you rushed back home.
yeah, you know, like when this is obviously not a comparison at all. Doctors have way harder jobs. But it's like saying, oh, I'm getting called in for some emergency at the hospital. My version of that, my very not as important version of that is, oh, there's a song that needs to be delivered tomorrow night. I have to go sit on the mix or I have
And
to
they
record.
don't get the hint that अगर कल है तो मैं तुम्हारे साथ अभी नहीं बैठी रहूंगी.
Because
Like
they know
don't
who
get.
they're sitting opposite. So I can always, they're like, yeah, go understand. Wow, so cool. I was like,
Wow, so
yes,
cool.
so cool. Totally not planned. But I've used that excuse multiple times. If you're on a date with me and you hear that, it's a lie.
So the 3 guys that you went out with at the wedding.
One of them, unfortunately,
Yeah?
I used that excuse because he brought up politics on the first date.
So that's a big red flag for you.
Huge red flag. Any,
Why is that?
Any like extremely heavy topic on the first date is just off-putting.
So okay, say you're going out on a date with a guy. The first discussion can't be politics.
No.
But in the next 10 seconds, it can be politics. Like
And the
in the next 10.
second date, बैठते ही शुरू करो.
हाँ भाई, आ जाओ. Leftist होगी.
Samachar. You know, like open the news and be like, okay, let's talk. No, I'm kidding.
But the first the first conversation on the first date discussing politics would be a red flag for you.
I think so. I think that's a red flag for most people, men and women. It's too heavy. You know, first dates are about keeping it light, having
What
fun.
else could be a red flag on a
jokes.
first date?
Oh, for me, dietary restrictions. It's not
Okay.
a red flag. It's just a preference thing. If I didn't know this and you are on a first date with me and I find out you're vegetarian, I'm so sorry. Are you vegetarian? It's over. It's over.
So
I saw his life flash before his eyes.
I have a couple of dates lined up. I don't think. Lisa, it was nice knowing you. It was fun for how much ever time it lasted. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'll come on your shows for sure. I'll put up stories.
I'm very happy for your health. You're going to live long. And I'm going to live happy.
Oh, okay then. Okay
So
then.
my personal,
Well done.
non-negotiable. It's not a red flag. Different language for that. Non-negotiable for me is, यार मुझे non-veg बहुत पसंद है.
Okay.
बचपन से खा के आई हूँ. I can't let it go. And a huge part of my life is sharing and enjoying over a meal. You know?
But okay. This is an interesting topic. Food is always an interesting topic, right?
But मैं तेरे साथ क्या करूँगी? You'll order veg,
अरे?
then I will eat your veg, and I can't offer you my non-veg. No?
That's
So
okay.
I'll have, it's a
That's
2-to-1
okay
ratio.
by me.
It's not fair.
What's like a couple of things that annoys you about female friendships?
I'll give you one good and one bad. So I'll give you 2 positives, 2 negatives. 1, you share clothes. It's awesome. You get double the closet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. 2, you complain about the same things together, and there's just such a great camaraderie.
Trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding, you're only best friends if you hate the same things, not love the same things. I firmly believe this. Best friendships are made from hating the same things.
Okay then.
Yes.
Okay
Anyone can
then.
like the same things. That's not interesting. But having a very specific dislike of something is what bonds people.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
What I don't love.
So what do you hate?
What do I hate? Politics on the first date. That's a big one.
All right.
Let me think. What else do I hate?
2 things. You mentioned 2 good things.
2 good things, not 2 bad things about female friendships. It can be competitive. It can be because, and there's an explanation. We live in a patriarchy. We live in a society where girls are made to compete because we're told there's not enough to go around. So competitiveness is an issue for sure in a lot of female friendships. But there's context and reason as to why. Another thing is if you end up liking the same person, it is very tough. It's very tough and very awkward to navigate that. Or if you like somebody's ex or whatever. I think guys are chiller about this stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more complicated with girls.
I mean, it's the bro code that comes into picture all the time.
I hate this
So
phrase.
you're
I
like-
hate bro codes.
I mean, it's just
For girls,
like,
it's very. We have our version of that, which is the opposite, which is like, ye namumkin hai. You will never do this, never cross this line. It's a little tough.
okay.
I'm a little more like, yeah, jo karna hai karo, chill karo, it's fine.
But do you think?
By the way, I'm saying this now, and then watch me get home and someone texts me that they have a crush on my ex. I'm gonna be like,
हिम्मत कैसे हुई तेरी?
me? I thought we were friends. So that's tough.
But do you think there is, among your female friends, do you think there is a certain sense of facade that people put up, and then they?
No, I have excellent female friends.
I'm not saying usually female friends do that. I'm not saying that.
No,
because
no,
I'm just
you're saying in
because,
general.
Because I've heard people share that, oh, this person usually likes their other friends, but then comes to me
And complains.
and bitches about them.
Yeah.
So it makes this friend feel that she must be doing the same thing
With someone else.
her about her.
I think that's less to do with gender and more to do with maturity. Because I see it in my male
Again,
friends too.
not again exactly.
No,
So not
exactly.
just about
I think
females,
it's
it's just about
it's
men as
maturity.
well. Yeah.
I think it's that, it speaks to your character. If you have a tendency to speak badly about people, it just means you're immature. And, it's a lack of a sense of security in going and telling the person how you feel. It's easier always to talk badly about them behind their back. It's much harder to confront the situation. So I think I've seen it with men, I've seen it with women, and it's hurtful. Of course it is. And it makes you overall less trustworthy. Because if you're doing it to me, what are you saying about me? Exactly, right? So I've seen this in all forms of friendship. It's just emotional immaturity. It's people who are bad at confrontation.
How are you dealing with adult friendships?
Having fewer friends
Okay.
overall. I think part of adulthood is cutting down the number of people you know.
How do you cut down on the number of people you know?
Kalti maro yaar, relationship. I'm
Kalti
kidding.
maro.
Just like,
ठीक है.
you, not for me. Bye.
Such a Bombaya thing to say.
No.
Kalti maro.
But I do feel like you have to make some decisions about how you feel around people. When you leave hanging out with somebody, do you feel drained or do you feel like fulfilled? Are they filling your cup or are they draining? So that's you don't realize those emotions until you're a little bit older, because when you're younger, you're just running on energy and everything is like, activity, talk, whatever. But when you get older and you leave some situations, you're just like, there's nothing left in me at all. It's exhausting. So if you're getting that feeling around somebody, they're probably not your type of person in adulthood. You can cherish what you had with them. They might be friends of yours for 10, 15 years. But in adulthood, they might not end up staying your best friend. They can be your friend that you've known for a long time. But your circle will definitely get smaller as you grow older. Responsibilities come, decisions have to be made, life gets harder, everything is not fizul and fun. And that's the real test of friendship, right? Who sticks around for when life gets tough and busy and challenging. So my biggest learning about friendships as I've gotten older is to just have fewer friends, limit your circle, and limit your emotional output.
Have you cut friendships on your own? Intentionally?
Definitely intentionally I have.
On what grounds?
My biggest red flag is always dishonesty or disloyalty. I have a big issue with people that come off as fake, or they're there for the wrong reasons, or they've said something about you to someone else instead of directly to your face. So it's the most common breaking of friendship for me is that. Is dishonesty is a big one. It's the same reason for the breaking of relationships for me. My ground rules are be honest, and it's the tougher thing to do, but it's the right thing to do.
Have you ever gotten back to your ex?
Haven't we all? I've never been in a real relationship. So I've never been in anything longer than 3 months. And so technically they're not relationships and they're not real exes, but I've like reconsidered people that I've known before
And then?
gone back in some endless loop of like 1-2 years of will they, won't they, Ross and Rachel, that vibe. Because it tends to be that the people I date are the people that feel most like my best friends. So that's why it's tough to let someone go completely.
Yeah.
I tend to date whoever my like male best friend is. So probably not a good habit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've gone back to people. I've definitely made that mistake. I think it's I've made it as recently as like this year. So that's a thing about emotional maturity I'm working on. So the more mature thing to do is move on.
What's that one opinion that you strongly have that most of your friends disagree on?
What is the hill I want to die on? It's actually this. It's very similar. My friends want me to let go of things more easily. I hold on to the past a lot. If someone has like, really lost my trust, it's almost impossible for them to gain it back. And I have a very harsh boundary of them not being able to access me after that. So I don't know if it's necessarily good or bad, but a lot of friends of mine have suggested, like, be a little easier about this stuff. Don't let it affect you so much. Let it go. If you run into them, just say hi, hello. You don't have to be their best friend. But I'm very cutthroat. I'm like, hi, hello. I don't know you anymore.
Okay.
So that's where I think I'm very different from most of my friends. They're able to maintain difficult relationships. I have very severe boundaries. I don't like to maintain any relationships that have hurt me. So I don't know if that's good or bad. It's probably not good. It probably piles up.
Yeah.
But
it adds on to.
It adds on to
past.
And it's probably exhausting for people who end up meeting me in the future as even a friend or, a partner. Maybe they have that person in common.
Yeah.
Shit. And what if
that's
uncomfortable for them because I'm so severe about my boundaries that I'm like, and then they're like, yo, that's my best friend.
You are so filmy.
Yeah, and
I love it.
I was meant for. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, you thought I wasn't meant for acting. Look at this now.
Who's saying that?
No. I think a lot of people were surprised when I switched to acting.
Good surprise, though.
Great surprise. The feedback has been amazing. But now you see where it comes from. I'm very filmy.
But I want to ask you a very personal question. Maybe then after that we can wrap it
ये
up.
सब अभी तक क्या था फिर?
A little more personal in that case.
Or more personal.
आपके as an artist क्या नखरे हैं?
नखरे.
बताओ.
नखरे क्यों कर दी?
Well done.
That's literally my song.
Well done.
Stream. Oh. This is like that webcam microphone.
Yeah, the first one.
Throw back to my first microphone. Nakhre for me.
As an artist. Like, do people have a hard time putting up with you as an artist? Yeah? Why?
This is that problem of delegating perfection.
You're striving for perfection?
I'm a taskmaster, so I think I'm very difficult sometimes to work. I know this is my flaw. I'm working very hard to not be as harsh.
What are people telling you, Lisa, इस पे काम करो, Lisa, इस पे काम करो?
थोड़ा chill कर.
थोड़ा chill कर.
थोड़ा chill कर. इतनी बहुत controlling है तू. Chill कर बहन. And I'm a little bit like, no, my execution has to be flawless. This is a public performance. It must be perfect. And I'm very God, everything I said in the past 5 minutes is like, you're dead to me. I'm controlling. And it's like,
I'm rigid.
Hey guys, there's a reason I'm single.
Rigid.
I'm seeing it as I speak.
Yeah.
My therapist is watching this being like, wow, she's having a revelation on screen. Good for her.
Please.
It's happening right in front of my eyes. I'm like, yes, it's all making sense now. But I
you
have,
either needed this podcast way too badly or you didn't need it at all.
This has turned into, this is kya chill. This is not chill for me. This has become very intense for me.
This is sending chills down your spine.
Yeah,
but okay.
sending chills down my, this is a chills hour. But I feel like my biggest issue is letting go of control. And going with the flow and being flexible, adaptable is something I really struggle with. So if there's, like, some issue on stage, like this tech check is running late, and now the performance is going to be pushed. I end up doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, but I throw a 5-minute tantrum first.
This is irrespective. ये होना ही है.
I'm upset first.
And what is
I'm
it
just
regarding?
like, "Kyun? Why has this not been settled? Why?" I'm not like yelling at anybody, but I'm whining. I'm like, मैंने बताया था ये सब check करो पहले and then call me. And why am I here 35 minutes early if everything is delayed? So I know I have that little bit of work to do on my patience, my flexibility. That needs to change.
Your top 3 song recommendations.
Top 3 songs. My bestie. I don't think he needs any more streams, but Big Dogs, Hanumankind, number 1, because he's one of my closest friends, and I'm so happy for him because this is so overdue, his success.
Of course.
So that, number 1. Number 2, I shouldn't actually say number 1 or 2 because I shouldn't rank my own song.
Just 1, 2,
Listen
3.
to my song, Yara Tere Bin, which is actually one of the best songs I've ever made. My best friends and I composed and created this beautiful song for Call Me Bae. Yara Tere Bin, Big Dogs, and let me think about what else I've been listening to a lot of. Move. You know
Move
that
by?
song, Girl, I really like the way you move. That song. I don't know who makes the song, but I run to it a lot. And I've given you the most mainstream thing. I'm not a niche
I'm
cool
not very
musician.
proud of those recommendations because I've
I
heard all of
know,
these songs.
everyone's heard all of
Come
these
on.
songs. You've heard my song?
Yes.
Okay, then fine.
Why are you surprised?
I don't know.
Why? Lisa, believe in
now
yourself.
the controlling
This is
part of me
therapy.
is like, dikhao, show me you've heard.
Arey, show me kya matlab, please sing your song.
Oh.
Go for it.
Now I'm on
Go
the
for
spot.
it. Go for it. 5 lines, 3 lines, whatever.
Okay. I have a very beautiful verse in the song, so I'll sing that.
Go for it.
तेरे बिना मैं जाऊं कहाँ ये दिल तेरा है देखो जरा मैं अगर नींद हूँ तो ख्वाब मेरा सुनी शहर हूँ तो शाम मेरा तू ना हो तो क्या काम मेरा तू ही बता हाँ तेरी ये जो यादें सताए up all night तेरी ये जो यादें तेरे बिना मैं सब खोने लगी हूँ क्यों है ये There you go.
Super.
Wow,
Amazing.
तालियां उधर से भी.
Amazing.
I was like, please करो कमाई मेरी
Chill कर रहा हूँ भाई बहुत बढ़िया. Well done. But I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being
Thank
on
you
the
for
show.
having me.
And I wish all the luck and all the love for you for all the shows that you're going to be performing at and for all the movies that you're going to be a part of.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you guys, if this airs, it will air before. Come see me at Gully Fest, which is going to be super fun in October. Divine, Pusha T, me, we're all headlining. There's lots of really incredible artists.
Sweet. When is it happening? 26th,
October,
27th?
yeah. And then also see me at Lollapalooza. I will be there. Hanumankind will be there. Some random guys like Shawn Mendes, I don't know, some small artist, no unknown somebody is coming.
Kabhi
some
India
Green
koi
Day.
aa gaya.
What is Green
Green Day kya hota hai?
hai?
Come on. What is Coldplay and all?
What is okay, now I can't take it that far.
Okay.
औकात से बाहर है.
You said Green Day. Come on. Green Day is big.
Green Day is actually one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah, Green Day is big. Come on.
Yeah.
But okay then.
Yeah. So I will be there. Green Day will also happen to be there. Shawn Mendes.
Good for them. They're performing
there.
alongside me.
I know, exactly. Honestly, they should be honored.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm sure they know who I am.
They are.
They're like, okay.
So performing alongside Lisa.
It's an honor for them.
Green Day.
Yeah. So Gully Fest, come see me. Lollapalooza in March, come see me. And watch Call Me Bae. And catch me on Royals on Netflix next year too.
Well done. Your honest feedback of how you felt being on the show. Ekdam unfiltered, honest, non-diplomacy wala feedback. Go for it.
मुझे बताया गया था आने के लिए तो मैं आई. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Taking it too seriously.
No, I had a great time.
Some filter on the
Then
unfiltered
you're like,
part.
please, some filter, ma'am.
No, go for it.
No,
Go for
I
it.
thought it was great. I think it hilariously became a lot of introspection.
Yeah.
And me realizing my own flaws that I have to work on, which I wasn't prepared for. So I had a lot of fun. And it was very honest and chill. And chill. The hour was very chill. And yeah, I hope we do it again.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
I'll meet you after I win my Oscar. You know,
All right then.
such confidence.
I
So much confidence.
actually bond on dark humor, so I don't want to say a lot of thoughts that
That
come
wasn't
out.
humor. That was a prediction.
Anyway, no, I was just what was coming to my mind was a little. Anyway, Deepak. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you had fun. Please comment down your most favorite part in the comment section. Please watch Call Me Bae. It's out on Amazon Prime. She will be performing in a couple of shows coming forward this year. So please be a part of that. Come watch her,
Yeah.
cheer for her, put up Instagram stories, and tag me as well. But thank you so much for
We have to
watching.
tag you in performance videos
Thank
of
you
me.
so much. Just बड़ा करके से DK Pareek tag कर देना. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Next episode goes live every Friday. So enjoy the show and tell us what you like, and we'll come up with every new episode every Friday. So see you next Friday. Cheers.